Welcome to Season 4, our Myth Breakers. Today we have a special guest, Ma'am Preeti Monga from Delhi. Welcome to the show, ma'am,
Thank you so much. Honored to be here.
and it's our pleasure that you could take out some time for us. And if you could tell a little more about yourself to our listeners.
Sure. So, as my name already, it is Preeti Monga, and I am a blind woman. I've been blind since I was about, I think, 6 or 7. This exactly then when my parents discovered that I was blind. And interestingly, the teachers uh, actually discovered that there was something wrong with me. And because of them, my blindness was discovered so early in life. And my parents could change their methodology and change their way of bringing me up at an early age. The only thing I would like to mention here is that they did not have any guidance or any knowledge as to how they were going to bring me up now that their daughter was blind, but they used their common sense, and they also did not allow the atmosphere of the house to change with the trauma they were going through, and which meant that it was so comfortable for me to transact, you know, uh, the
Mm-hmm.
way I was being brought up without worrying too much about, what really was wrong with me. I never felt there was anything wrong with me. So that kept my confidence intact. Although the society was acting strangely with me because people knew that there was blindness in our home, and as the society reacts in strange ways when they discover that uh, family has a disability and that also a blind daughter. But that was only confusing, and sometimes it was very fearful also for me. But because I felt nothing amiss, nothing wrong in my family, and my parents loved me and treated me just like they treated me before I started going to doctors. I somehow had a foothold, and my confidence actually did not fall down to that level that it couldn't be developed and brought up again. And so that was about my childhood. It was very important I mentioned that because that is where we all develop as human beings, the
Very
first
true.
few years of our lives. And of course, things carried on, and as I continued to grow up, um, the next devastating thing that hit me was now again it also hit me in school. I changed schools, and I was in a regular school, mainstream school throughout. And this school, Loreto Convent, Delhi, actually threw me out in class 8 just because I was blind. In 1972, this happened, and they said that I must go to a school for blind, for the blind. And that is when the power of the disability and the power of the pain really hit me um, very, very badly. Because we went to this one and only blind school that was existing at that time in Delhi, which was in a very, very bad situation and very bad state. And my parents requested them that they wanted me to be a day scholar rather than a hosteler. But the school refused, and no other school after that wanted to admit me, no other mainstream school. And that was the end of my formal education. Then I did my class 10 from National Open School. This is in 1983. So that much gap. And beyond that, I do not have any formal qualifications. However, I did learn music, sitar in between for about 8 years with the dream of becoming a worldwide well-known sitarist like Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. But that also did not happen. because mindlessly a blind person is taught music just because it is thought that if you are good at I mean, if you are sorry, if you are blind, that means you are gifted with music.
Yeah, the skill. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a skill. And so I practiced 8 hours every day for 8 long years, and then discovered that I did not understand music at all. That meant I could never be an excellent, um, artist. So I played very well, but excellence was what I wanted to achieve because I had to win back the lost respect which I had lost from within me, from without me, from the society itself when I was thrown out of school. So that left me even more devastated than when I started. By that time, I was almost 20, 21, and I thought my learning days were over. So that is when I went into very deep depression. But the story of Helen Keller kept coming into my head, and I kept on thinking that she had three disabilities. She couldn't hear, she couldn't speak, and she couldn't see. When I just only had one that I couldn't see. So I always felt from within me and the values that my parents continued to give me that I had only one disability. So what am I complaining about? I must and I have to find ways to get up and get on with life. So that is when I thought that I would get married. Now that I knew everything, my mother trained me very well in household work, cooking, everything, and she trained me very well to be a good homemaker as well, excellent homemaker, in fact. But then I realized that nobody wanted to marry me because I was blind. And that is the time when I thought that enough of failures. This time I'm not going to fail. And I did find a gentleman to get married to. I did get married to him. And within 2 hours of my getting married to him, I discovered that this was one of the biggest disasters of my life. I had married a compulsive liar, a alcoholic, and an abusive man. And I actually went into complete shock and numbness. And this lasted for almost 5 years, being tortured, and it was really horrible. And in this period, I had two children, one abortion, two children, and now I had landed with two children who were being abused along with me. And I just couldn't take it anymore, and I decided that this should be the end of my life because it's not worth living like this. And I failed at that as well. So hence I'm here. So what I really discovered at that point was probably the lowest point in my life because I was being very, I was not even able to be a good mother. Obviously, when I was not correct inside of me, how could I give anything to my children? And then I realized another thing that unless and until I am economically independent somehow, um, there is no way that I would be able to live life as I wanted to live it, independently or with my own free will and bring up my children the way I wanted to. So it took me almost 2 years to of really thinking and pondering. I thought of becoming a housemaid, and then ended up being becoming the first and only blind aerobic instructor known at that time, 1987. And from there on, my life started changing. But before it even began to change, it became worse because as I was getting empowered, my ex-husband became more violent, and there were so many more challenges that I had to face, and even the society did not accept that I was, trying to fight it out and not act like a downtrodden, um, unhappy, and a helpless woman, a blind woman. So fighting through that all, it took me almost 11 years actually of this horrible life before I could actually leave my husband and then move on and get myself some work, starting from volunteering for many many years at a blind school, and then slowly turning that into my skill of helping, training, counseling, teaching blind children, helping their parents, going into the private sector, corporate sector, doing workshops for employment of persons with disabilities, inclusion, working towards inclusion, helping schools and colleges to understand that inclusion is not such a difficult thing to do. Presenting myself as a role model to do all this. And then later on in 2006, I realized that the work that I have taken upon myself is very, very huge. And I need to uh, be equipped to be able to do so much to
Right.
get more people in.
Um,
So Silver Linings, yeah. So just Silver Linings was launched, actually formally registered in 2006. Yes, Hina. Sorry.
okay. No, no, no. It's like so
Mm.
enchanting to hear you. It's like you know, out of the book that we are listening, like a story, and such an amazing story as you have just mentioned what Helen Keller about Helen Keller's, life and all. And
Sure.
so many motivational quotes are there from
Mm.
Helen Keller herself.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful. What you
Thank you so
have
much.
gone through and how you have dealt at every stage, despite of the
Mm-hmm.
fact, all those dipping moments, you could
Sure.
pick up yourself just at the right time and
Yeah.
move ahead in life. That is like
Absolutely.
inspirational.
No,
Thank you
that is
so much for sharing
very
also.
sweet. No, that is very kind of you. But whenever one can get up, whenever one gets up out of the dip moments, is the right time. Most of us
Absolutely.
do not get up from those dip moments. We just remain there and then curse the world and curse ourselves, and just lose our strength in blaming and cursing and suffering, that we forget that there is a chance if you only try,
Right.
for all of us.
Absolutely. It's like one of the quotes, it just reminds me of Helen Keller
Mhm.
herself, like, optimism
Mhm.
is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing
Absolutely.
can be done without hope and confidence.
Absolutely. And that is exactly what, uh, you know, but to develop confidence, you actually need that hope, and that hope, also to even have hope, you need to have something inside of you to even hold on to hope. It's
So, what
something
did you
inside of
hear?
you. Yes, so always a lot of people ask me this, and
Mm-hmm.
what I had was, either I don't want to live. If I want to live, I want to live with my head held high, and I want to give to the world whatever I can, so that I am actually within myself. I feel freedom, I feel comfort, I feel happiness, and I am really a complete person in myself. And I do not want to look at others and be dependent on anyone. It can be anyone. I did not want to be dependent. So either I don't live. If I live, then I want to be living with
Right.
freedom.
So, it's like encapsulating that, yes, you held your own self with a lot
Absolutely.
of respect within, and
Sure.
you wanted to live with that respect and grace, along
Yes.
with feeling the complete and holistically, you want to be like, feel the comfort part, the freedom part
Yes.
with the essence of happiness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I did not want my children, now that I was responsible. I was as responsible for them, for their birth, as anyone else. Right. So I did not want them to be ashamed of their mother one day. You know, this is not about money. It still is not about money. I'm not a money rich person. but I'm a holistically very rich and happy person, and I'm happy that my children are not today. They don't have to be, hanging their heads in shame because they are born to me. I think that was also one of the most big driving facts, that I wanted them to live a full life. If I can't give them anything, at least I should be able to give them this, that they should be content and happy and uh, stress free where their mother is concerned.
I'm sure they are, and they are
Yes,
proud of you.
I hope so.
I believe in it.
Thank you so much.
So it's like, how did you actually coped up? During those
uh,
dip moments, yes, you had said one should pick themselves up, but what exactly is that changing factor people can,
yes,
relate to?
yes. See, when I was about 16, I still remember on my 17th birthday, I got a little booklet from somebody. I couldn't read it, but of course, people in my home did read it. It said, "Count your blessings." It's a very, very important underlying word, that is a few words. Count your blessings. We only, all, every human being has challenges, whether we have a disability or we do not have a disability. We all have challenges, and what we are actually ingrained or we are imbibed inside of us the moment we are born, from there on, guilt and fear is driven into us through various mediums. And we are only looking at the negative side of life. We do never do count the positives in our lives, for the very fact that I'm a human being, and okay, I may not have a particular sense in place, or a particular body part may be defective, or a particular thing may be defective in me, but the rest of me is fine, right? Do we ever count that? Do we ever count that we do have a mom out there? We do have a father. We can breathe. We are, the nature is there. The world is there. We have a mind. There's so many things. We do not look at the positive side of it. If we start counting our blessings, what we have, and start developing those, I think the strength will automatically come. Yeah, we continue to dwell on the negative side of things, then we don't have room. Our energy or even the thought doesn't come to us that there are still positive sides in our lives, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that positive is what we need to count. We need to count our blessing. For example, I'll give a very simple example so that people can relate to it. Suppose I'm blind, but I could taste food, I could eat food, I could taste food, I could enjoy cakes and chocolates, and you know, that was positive. So suppose I learn to cook, I develop a skill, and I can cook. I could learn to cook. I could learn to use four of my senses. So that is where, when you develop so much positive senses in you and so much positivity inside of you, then your negative becomes actually a very small part of your existence. Then
Right.
there is so much you can develop on, and then that dip point actually topples around, and it becomes a road to achieving success.
True.
That is what I teach. That is what I teach. That you need to develop, and you need to count your blessings, your positive things, and develop those. What you can't fix, you can't fix. You have to leave it. You know. So that is
Right.
that is what I would like to share.
That's a very good insight that yes, we should let go of the things which
Mm,
we cannot fix and focus on
mm.
the positive sides of the blessings that we are blessed with
Yeah, and develop them.
and develop them.
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to work hard. Let me tell you, there are no shortcuts in life. There are no free lunches, and there are no shortcuts. It's a very painful journey for anyone that has succeeded today. It's nice, we just see successful people and say, "Ha, no, he was born to a in a rich family." You think rich people don't have challenges? They have bigger challenges than us, right? But The thing is that everybody needs to work hard in a focused manner and face failures, fall down, get up. We just have to do it. We have to work. If we do not take action, if we don't work, if we don't um, focus hard, no matter how much we listen to beautiful stories and read wonderful books and complain or do whatever or protest, nothing's going to happen. You have to start from the first step. Only then you will be able to climb up to the first floor, fifth floor, whatever, wherever is your destination, wherever you have fixed your goal. And you have to have a aim. Maybe it may fail, maybe it may change through your through the journey that you're going through. Your aim may change, your goal may change, but you have to have a goal so that at least you start walking towards it.
Absolutely. And
Goals change. They change.
I can actually relate to it also. Yes, the goalpost actually changes. Sometimes becomes better, sometimes more is added
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
at a particular point. And
Yeah.
ma'am, you did mention that you are engaged with kids and all to bring
Yes.
them to mainstream. If you could just highlight a little
Yes.
more about it
Yes.
as to what you
Yes.
are doing
Certainly.
currently.
Certainly. Certainly. That is one of our flagship projects. Silver Linings is the name of my organization, and Project Shiksha is the project which is our flagship project where we are preparing blind girls. In fact, because a woman and a girl is, especially a blind girl, is a marginalized, uh, section of the society. So I have decided, and I understand girls and women more, of course, because I'm one. So I decided to work with them with more focus. So we work with blind girls. We are preparing them at our Shiksha project. We give them holistic upbringing and nurturing, along with basic education and skills to live with blindness, to study with blindness, and then support them through their education. The moment they're ready to be integrated into mainstream schools, we admit them into mainstream schools, and we have a hostel in Delhi where we the girls stay with us, and we send them to school. We take them there, we bring them back, we help them throughout their journey, and ultimately, we'd like them to grow up into productive and dignified citizens. So that is what we are doing. That's our flagship project, and we are a very
And
small organization.
you're
We
doing
want
an
to do much more.
amazing work. Every
We just
effort
want
is
to do more.
important, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
sure,
And
sure.
if people would like to contact you, then how should they do so?
Yeah, the easiest way is to just simply Google my name, Preeti, space Monga, and you will get my contact details. You'll get a lot about me, and you can, best would be send me a text message or a WhatsApp message, and I will definitely respond. And normally, I never leave any messages or then my email ID is also there, preeti.moha@gmail.com. That's the easiest one. So I'm very easily accessible, and I'm happy to be reached out to.
And if you could just share the WhatsApp number for our audience.
Yes, it is 98717 01 646. It's my calling number as well as WhatsApp number. I have only one number, so you can please feel free to get in touch with me, and whatever I can share, whatever I can do to the best of my ability, I'm always there to share whatever I have.
So, everyone who's listening to ma'am right now, they can contact ma'am through email. She's shared her email ID and her name, wherein you can Google, and the WhatsApp number. Please leave a voice message, and
Yeah,
ma'am will definitely revert back as and
sure.
when she sees the message actually, or
Yes, yes.
listens to
I
the
am
message.
very yes,
Yeah.
yes. I will. You can also send me a text message. That's not a
Yes.
problem. Even on WhatsApp, you can send me a text message because
Mm-hmm.
these days technology is very has made our lives very easy and very similar to people who do not have disabilities because our phones talk, our laptops talk. everything around us talks. So
True.
yeah, so that has made life so much more easier now. 1959, when I was born, it was unthinkable and unimaginable.
Your parents have really nurtured you so
Yes,
beautifully. Hats off to them
absolutely,
to stand by
absolutely,
you, especially during
absolutely.
those times. When
Yes,
we even think about it, the support that they have
sure.
and the love they have given to you.
Absolutely. It's a salute to my family, entire family, but my parents have really, they've really done something so amazing. And that's what I share uh, at Shiksha as well, at the project, so that I can give that forward. So it's very, very important that we fill up the heart. The brain will fill up automatically, you know. So that's very important.
That's true, and I actually came to know about some of your students who really did amazingly well.
Absolutely.
If you could just
Absolutely.
share, I mean,
Yes, absolutely. So Shweta came to us 2 years back to learn computers, and she stayed on with us. She had lost her eyesight um, with a strange medicine that was given to her for just curing a simple fever, and she lost her eyesight about almost 7 to 8 years back. She had somehow managed to scrape through her class 10, and then she came. We found her at in Ambala. She's from Patiala, Punjab, and she's been with us, and we've basically she was here for 3 months to learn computers, but she requested me. In fact, she insisted she wanted to stay. She said, "Ma'am, the moment I see you, I meet you, I'm around you, I get that strength that I can do something." And we continue to support her with whatever education she required, educational and other living with blindness activities that we do for everyone. And then this year she appeared for her class 12 CBSE board exam. As she was appearing privately, she had to go and appear at a center.
mhm.
And she took her exam on the computer. She wrote her exam on the computer independently, and she scored 87.2% marks, which is
Wow.
supreme. And now she's got into Delhi University, and we are just absolutely delighted. And we will remain with her till she achieves her goal of, achieving that dream job of hers.
Listening to this itself is so, it brings so much of happiness. And
Absolutely.
I hope your voice reaches out to many. And if at all they need any assistance, they
Sure.
can reach out to you. And together we all should, bring this up into the mainstream also.
Absolutely. And there it's possible. It is there. It is
Very
for
true.
us to take it. CBSE, one of my students who have been guiding for the last, I think, 30 years now, and he also appeared, he also took his exams, class 10 and 12 on the computer himself. He was the first child who we insisted and the CBSE allowed
That's
and
great.
supported us through. So if you make that move, if you ask, you shall receive. If
True.
you make those efforts, and if the child is competent, then why not?
Absolutely.
So we have to make our children competent.
True. And now we know where to reach out.
Yes, yes, I'm always there.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
any
you.
message, ma'am, you want to just send across before we end the session?
Yes, my message is always remains that you're the most beautiful person. Whoever you are, the way you are, you're meant to be the most beautiful person. Look inside of you, find the good, great gifts that you have within you and develop them. Just focus on your gifts and remember we have only one life where we have one life to live. So live it well. Stop complaining, stop crying, stop blaming. Let's just do whatever we can and then you see how much you can. So please go ahead.
That's really great, wise words from you. And
Thank you so
we all will hold on to it for sure.
much.
And I
Thank you
can say
so
for
much.
myself, I believe others will also hold on. And
Sure.
thanks a lot, ma'am, for your time and
Thank
such
you for
uh,
having me.
No, it's our honor.
Thank you.
Thank you and take care.
Take care. Thank you so much for, having me over and allowing me to share a little bit more.
It's
Thank you.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. I will not refuse to do something I can do. By Helen Keller. How true this is for our guest, Mrs. Preeti Monga, who was blind at a very young age. People around her suddenly behaved and reacted differently. This left her confused and fearful. Since then, she encountered challenging situations in her life where social rejection, shame, sadness, and fear haunted her throughout her childhood and youth. Her pillar of support was her family. Their encouragement, unconditional love, fueled her with confidence and power to move on, despite of those daunting moments which she had faced. The challenges she came across in her educational and personal life strengthened her spirits to move ahead in life, along with the values which her parents had instilled in her. She also got inspiration from Helen Keller's life. Mrs. Preeti Monga believed that there is no shortcut to success. The journey is topsy turvy, but there is always a chance, only if we try. Her mission in life is to inspire and equip others to live with respect and grace. For that, she has written an autobiography called The Other Senses, published by Rowley Books. Her motto, never ever to give up, and creating awareness in the society that disability need not mean inability. Thus, we heard Mrs. Preeti Monga saying that we should count our blessings and see the positive side of it. And on this positive note, I end the episode. Hope we have learned from this dynamic and inspirational lady. See you next week with another guest, another story. Till then, take care and be safe. Bye.